So Jodie, what did you think of the Labour of Love program?
Oh, Rob, it's been amazing. I mean, the journey that we've gone through with George and Bobby and us as a couple has been fantastic. And I loved the fact that we could focus in and try and actually work out what it is we wanted to do rather than being pushed and pulled in other directions.
Absolutely, yeah. It was really brilliant to have that guidance and support from George and Bobby along the way. And I think that we could have done a lot of this ourselves, to be honest, but the fact is that with them there helping us and guiding us and coaching us along the way, it made all the difference.
It really did. And I mean, we have such busy lives, and I'm sure other people are in the same boat. But having a process that we could follow and to be accountable to both them and ourselves really made a huge difference. And although we've worked together in the past and we've got really complementary skills, what I found was amazing was with the labour of love that we're able to identify those skills that we are really, really good at and focus in on those.
That's right. And there was also that intuitive element too, wasn't there? Which kind of started out being a little bit like, wow, this is all very different and new and interesting. But it really, really made all the difference as far as I was concerned, because at first I thought, I'm not sure about this, but yeah, it was great.
You're right, and I think we had so many choices and options about what it is we could do, but doing that intuitive process actually helped us really listen to what felt right, and therefore opened up this new world of possibilities.
That's right. And then we looked at the personality profile as well when we did that profiling exercise, and we kind of learnt what our strengths were and where we could actually make improvements and where we complemented one another.
That's right, and I think when we could actually see it in black and white, we identified that there were a few gaps, and that helped to bring us to an awareness that we can't be good at everything, but maybe we need to actually outsource some things, or maybe get some help with some elements of things that we're actually not that interested in, but that we have to do, rather than sort of pushing through and trying to make it all work.
Yeah, and I loved how the program progressed towards more and more a more structured kind of approach. So we learnt a lot of different tools, and we learnt about new ways that we can interact and communicate with one another using some of those tools. So whilst we spend all our time communicating with one another and we're very good at it, I guess that there are some ways in which we weren't communicating effectively in terms of our goals and the things that we wanted for ourselves. So it was really great, not only being able to use that intuition to identify what was important to us and valuable to us and meaningful, but to look at our personalities, where we complemented one another and where our gaps were and where we needed to grow as people and expand in our relationship, and then to take that further, look at the tools that we can use, and then ways that we can communicate better and more effectively and achieve our labour of love.
And one of the great tools of the Labour of Love program is, of course, a structure. And I really enjoyed the sessions with Bobby and George where we reflected on that session and it was that we appreciated about each other and appreciated about the session. And, that element of sort of being grateful was something that we've now incorporated into our daily practice and keeps us aware and focused.
That's right. And the good thing is that we are actually making progress on our labour of love. And we're day by day, making incremental shifts and improvements, and we're learning and growing and just getting it out the door. I mean, up until we met George and Bobby, or up until they led us through the program, we had all these wonderful ideas, and we were just sort of being pulled in different directions. We weren't sure which one was a priority and which one we really wanted to focus on, and yeah, that became a lot more apparent, and we've actually been following that process since then. So we've really worked hard at making sure that everything that we're doing now really is culminating in something that is bringing us closer to achieving that labour of love of ours.
And just to finish, one of the most fascinating elements for me was the moment that we decided what it is we wanted to focus in on together as a couple, for our labour of love. Things started to change and shift for us. People started approaching us, asking for our advice, or approaching us to be part of joint ventures or collaborative projects. And we also found, I guess, the voice to be able to say no to things that didn't fit that criteria.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, sometimes you have to say no to something in order to be able to focus on the one thing that really, really matters to you most. And it just becomes so much easier to say, look, thank you, that's a really wonderful offer, but we're already doing this other awesome project. And, you know, we may or may not tell them that it's our labor of love, but we know that it's our labor of love. And, you know, we're so thrilled to be a part of this program, and we're so thrilled to continue our interaction with George and Bobby and receive their continued guidance and support.
So if you're thinking about making those next steps, we can highly recommend the program of the Labour of Love with George and Bobby. We're certainly really grateful that we've had that opportunity, and it's something that will be quite transformative, not just for your relationship, but for the future.
Absolutely. Just do it.